Okay. Take two. Hi, welcome to Charlotte's House podcast. This is my second take. I got it right the first time. I'm Charlotte. This is a YouTube channel that talks about all of the things that I like to spend my time with, which are mostly knitting, crochet, sewing, and quilting and gardening. And I'm coming to you from northern Lower Michigan. It is Wednesday, January 13th, 2022. So let's see. So today we've got some knitting. We'll do that first. Then anything yarn related will be first. Then we'll do a quick sewing project. And then we'll move into quilting. Totally getting into the whole quilting thing again. So very excited about that. Lots of projects going. But I've got to get any quilting done by gardening season because that's why you haven't seen me in forever. Because, well, gardening finished last fall, of course, and then I would think, oh, I should have a podcast. I haven't done one in a while. But, oh, I'd like to get this project done so I can show it. And then, of course, then you'd start another project. Oh, I really would like to wait till I have this project done so I can show it. I mean, when you do this by yourself, you kind of feel like you've got to stockpile some items so that you have enough things to talk about. But if you've been here before, welcome back. Thank you. And if you're new here, just a heads up, I've got two Labradors and a little dog, Clark the rescue dog. Sky the yellow lab is especially barky, and she's been especially barky this morning. So I'm probably known, for those of you that watch me, among you, I'm probably known as the Dogs Bark a Lot podcast. So just to forewarn you, the window's right here. There's nothing out there, and she barks. Anyway, so let's see. So since I've talked to you last, we had Christmas Eve dinner here again after nobody coming over last year. And so we had 22 for dinner. We do a sit-down 4-course dinner. So that was great to finally have everybody back and to have a great big celebration. Let's see, I've got our 3 kids are heading off in directions. So we're closing a chapter in life and opening the next one. So our oldest graduated from Michigan State, and he's down in Texas for his brand new first job. And then our next child she transferred from University of Tennessee to Florida. She really wants to live in Florida. And so she's down at a smaller university in southern Florida and is extremely happy. And then our youngest is a senior this year in high school. And this fall she will be headed to University of Alabama. So yeah, they're all heading south. We live in northern Lower Michigan, and none of them like the snow. They hate it. They hate the cold. Well, my girls will walk around in their workout clothes and complain that they're cold. Well, I've got wool socks, pants, a thermal shirt, undershirt, a long sleeve shirt, a sweater, and they won't put any more clothes on. So, but that's all right. It gives us someplace nice and warm to visit. So, yeah, so pretty soon, won't be that long, everybody will be out. It's been a great ride. It really has, and that's just life. One chapter closes and the next one opens. So to celebrate, we have a week-long camping trip with Blue Betty and another our very good friends, and we are going all the way up to Copper Harbor, which is in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, that little point that sticks out on the western side, into Lake Superior. We're going all the way up there. I've never been all the way up there before. This will be the longest trip for Blue Betty. So I'm very, very excited. And if I keep looking in this direction, I'm back to trying my Canon camera. I got a microphone up on the camera, and I've got a live feed to my computer because the Canon shuts off automatically every 30 minutes. So I'm keeping an eye on that red dot because I've been known to yammer on for 45 minutes, not realizing the camera shut off. Okay, so we should probably get into the nitty-gritty here. Let's see. We'll do finished objects first. So this first one, so if, welcome back, viewers. Hello, new viewers. And I do have to give a shout out to Carol, one of my viewers. Thank you so much for your kind message the other day. Carol was wondering where I was and hopeful that there would be another podcast coming soon. So thank you, Carol, for the words of encouragement. I greatly appreciate it. And again, I thought about it and I wanted to do it. However, the whole editing thing is like climbing Mount Everest for some reason for me every single time. And so I really wanted to make a podcast, but the thought of trying to edit it and get it onto my computer and then on to the interwebs was like exhausting, or it just seemed insurmountable. But we're going to give it the old college try today. So here we go. So this one, if you've watched before, you know that for 2 years now I've been trying to reschedule my 50th birthday trip. March of 2020, two of my friends and I had a big trip. We were going to Norway, and we were going on an Arne and Carlos knitting cruise along the coast of Norway. And because I'm high risk, which I've explained in a previous video why, we canceled. And then sure enough, the world shut down while the cruise was happening. I've talked about this also. And we tried to reschedule the trip again for this March. And we were just about to hit the buy button and kind of like, oh, wait, let's figure out some more details. And then sure enough, within 2 weeks, Omicron hit and Norway shut down again. Norway, and I don't know what it is as of today. What is January 13th, 2022? But we decided to wait. We waited 2 years. We can wait some more. But Norway was requiring, when the Omicron surge hit Europe, you had to have a negative test before you left your country. You had to have a negative test when you arrived. And they wanted you to quarantine 3 days in a hotel and then test negative again before they let you. Well, you only have so many days on a vacation. So we decided we're just going to wait. But the whole reason I told you that is to tell you why I made this hat. So part of our excursions that we wanted to do was to stay a night at the Ice Hotel. And I'll try to put a link on here, but it is a hotel that is constructed entirely out of ice. When you walk in, the rooms are ice. Apparently you sleep on an ice slab and they give you thermal blankets and sleeping bags and all of these. I guess they give you thermal underwear too to wear, I think. And I think the temperature in the room while you're sleeping is 26 degrees Fahrenheit, something like that. So we were a little worried about, will our heads be warm enough? So I made one hat, and I still have to make the second one. But this is called the Ear Warmer Hat. And it is by Kristen, I need readers, Kristen Burns, Byrnes. And so it's a quite large brim, which is meant to be folded up, so you have double coverage on the ears. And I have shown this yarn before. I have loads of yarn left This is yarn I had made, and it is from our Newfie, our Newfoundland. So this is her fur, and it was mixed with about 30% wool because the Newfie fur is so fine and light. It needed some substance to make a nice yarn. So I've got loads of this, got loads of this left. And yeah, I guess it's a little more brown on the video than it is in real life, but it is a brownish, it is a very dark brown, I would say. Incredibly warm. I have not looked this up to verify the veracity of it, but the lady at our fiber mill told me when I brought this to her that Newfoundland fur is 5 times warmer than wool. And so I thought, what else would I make a hat for a trip to the Arctic Circle in March and sleep in an ice hotel? What would be more perfect? So this is one hat. You can obviously wear it like this if you want. If you want it also, you can do this. This one was a little bit larger, so I was going to give this one to my friend. Size adult, so there's only one size. It needs DK weight, which my Newfie yarn is, it's pretty much DK. I don't know if it was meant to be worsted, but it's a very thin worsted. But anyway, and I used the recommended needles, 3.5 and 4.5 millimeter. So it was super easy, super fast, super straightforward. My head is already getting warm. That's how warm this yarn is. So I need to make a second one in hopes that someday we make it on this trip. Oh, so I was going to say, yeah, this one is a little, I'm going to give this one to my friend. I just think with her hairstyle, and she's got a bit of a rounder head, I think she'll just like the roomier hat, where I like more of a snug hat with a brim, which we've talked about. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the same exact pattern, but I'm going to go down at least one needle size, probably one needle size. So there we go, the ear warmer hat. So, but yeah, and that's out of my very own Newfoundland. So every time she went to the groomer, they saved the nice long bits of fur that they cut off. And I waited until I had like a kitchen garbage bag, kitchen size, absolutely jam-packed. And oh my gosh, this whole bag is still full of all of this yarn. And I used circular, these are the carbons. They're okay, they're not my favorite. I like the needle itself, and I've probably already talked about these. The cable is extremely stiff. I mean, you can see right here, it's not going anywhere. It's gonna hold its same shape. So that kind of is a bummer, and the joins on some of the needles are extremely bumpy. So I can't remember what size it is, and it's not on all of them. But on more than one, you've got to really push the yarn over. So whatever. Chowgoo, my absolute favorite, but yeah. So this is jam-packed of Newfie yarn. And poor Ellie, yes, we lost her, oh my gosh, it'll be 2 years ago now, in April, I think. She was a rescue, she was a good girl. And we miss her. Let's see, so, oh, I have some other finished objects that are no longer here. One of them is another hat. It is the Storyteller Hat. By, can't remember, but I'll put a link below, of course. So the Storyteller Hat, I'll put some pictures in here, and it was a gift exchange for one of my knit night friends, and he just showed it the other day on his podcast. It was John from Sweet Tea No Shade, with Scott and John, and I'm so glad. I have no idea if they watch this, but I'm so glad he liked it. And I was worried when I made it if it would fit him or not, and he put it on in the podcast. It fit perfect. So very glad that you like it. And it was hilarious because in their podcast, when he was talking about making mistakes in his hat that he sent to someone, it was like a everybody passed their gift to the right kind of thing. You didn't exchange both with the same person. And he had some mistakes in his hat, and I laughed because I made the same exact mistake 4 times in John's hat, and I thought, oh, I've got to figure this out. I cannot send John this hat with this mistake in it because he's going to see it, and he's a pretty technical knitter, and so it was hilarious for me when he talked about it, and he was going to rip it out, and I was this close to ripping out John's hat and starting completely over, but I managed to figure out how to fix it. So by the 4th time I made the same mistake, I knew exactly how to fix it. That was a great hat, and the yarn I used was my very own Fat Wool Co. yarn, and I'll put the information down below on that. So let's see, and then I also, if you follow Fiberhustle, I am just name dropping, riding on coattails of everybody today. If you follow Fiberhustle, you may remember that Erin started a Dishcloth Revolution, which I did take part of, and there was a Zoom meeting for people working on their washcloths at some point. Can't remember when it was, this fall. And so I have then proceeded to make, 8. I think I made 8 of these washcloths. So there you, success, Erin. The revolution lives on. So I sent a couple washcloths to John and Scott along with the hat. I've got 2 left that I am saving for myself. I ended up memorizing the pattern, but I can't remember the name of the pattern. But I could make it. I could start it right now and make the whole thing. But, so here we go. So I've got, this is a natural, this one is a natural, this one is, this one is the natural one. This one is like, it's obviously a bleached white, and I prefer the natural. And I love all of the colors that other people are using for their washcloths, but I would like anybody, if you use fabulous colors for your washcloths, what color temperature water do you wash them with, and does the color fade? Which is why I stuck with neutrals, because these have both been washed under very hot water. So they shrunk a little bit, and they're nice, nice and compact isn't the word, but there aren't a lot of holes or anything, which is what I like. And I figured because I wash my washcloths and towels and sheets under very hot water, I thought the colors would fade and then they wouldn't look as nice anymore. So if you have experience with that, let me know. The off-white yarn is Premier, I think it's at Hobby Lobby. Premier Home, it is cotton, 85% cotton, 15% polyester, which I kind of wasn't sure how that would wash up, but it feels exactly the same. This one's 100% cotton. This is the Sugar and Cream, which you can get at Joann's. which is 100% cotton. I will say that the Premier with the polyester in it has a little more give to it and was easier on the hands. I find Sugar and Cream very rigid and very hard on the hands. But this, with something else added to it, was much easier to use. And it had a little bit more of a drape in it. But then once they're washed in hot water, they kind of feel the exact same. So I made a bunch of these, and so I've got the 2 left. And we did not do, normally, my husband and his brothers and sisters, instead of buying everybody a gift, we draw names. Well, we didn't do that this year for whatever reason. And so I couldn't go to Christmas empty-handed. So what I did, my friend Geraldine and I like to make soap. We don't sell it. We don't do anything like that. We just make it for our own use. And so I made everybody made bar soap, and these wooden not tangerine. What are those little oranges called? Those little oranges. The wooden crates are awesome for storage for soap if you make your own handmade soap. But anyway, so everybody got a bar of homemade soap. This is cedarwood and lavender. Smells fabulous, and they got a washcloth. So those are the kinds of things. And speaking of bath products, this is the first time I've ever made bath bombs. And so these are great for congestion. The only problem is, this is the first time I've made these. And I bought the plastic molds from Joann's, I think it was. Well, I can't get them all. I got one off, so there's that guy right there. And these are peppermint, eucalyptus, can't remember what else, maybe some rosemary. They smell amazing. I have not used one yet, but apparently I have 2 different sizes of molds. This one, half is stuck on, and this one is completely stuck on. So I figure I'll just put them in the bathtub, and eventually I'll be able to have my molds back. And if you have an interest in making soaps, and like I made chapstick, I made a lotion bar, there's an excellent magazine. Bet you we're getting close to 30 minutes. Oh, here it is. Called Willow and Sage that I would highly recommend. They sell it at Joann's. I think you can get it pretty much any store, bookstore, things like that. These are all recipes that people send in. And bath salts, bath bombs, packaging ideas, cold process soap, heat and pour soap, all kinds of different things. And they do interviews with people who make and sell these types of things for a business. They'll interview somebody in each issue. So I've been reading this for a number of years, and lots of great recipes if you're so inclined. And so let's see. Oh, I think that's it for finished. Oh, I have some blasts from the past that I don't think I've talked about. Oh my gosh, and I cannot forget this. So I sent my hat to John, and my friend Cody sent a hat to me. I don't know what the yarn is. It looks like it's a bulky, I don't know if it's acrylic, I don't know what it is, but he made me a fabulously bright hat. So it's a little big, but Cody, it's fabulous. I love the color, which I have no idea if Cody watches this or not either. But I can fold it up. It's very, very warm. The color is, it's a little bleached out on the video that I can see. It's a very, very bright, like pale flamingo color. It's bright. So thank you. Thank you very much. Cody also sent me some his own spun yarn, which is fabulous. So he spun this himself. I do not know what the fibers are, but it's like a very muted, like a very muted blue, like sagey blue, with a very muted peach would be too bright and too pink, like a peachy straw color maybe, but muted, like almost a. So I'll have to figure out what to make with that. It looks gray on the screen. It's more blue-green than gray. So thank you, Cody. What a nice surprise to receive this as well. So, yeah, I have, looks like we're still recording. So I have, whew, hot. So here's a work in progress. This is in my very own Fat Wool Co. bag. This is the Essential Clutch. These are socks that I showed you last January that I had started, and they just sat there. I didn't want to do lace work, and then of course I hardly did any knitting all summer. And then I didn't want to sit down and do lace work. These are lace socks. But now I've been picking them up again, and I'm almost to the toe on the first sock. These are called the Spring Fern Socks by Susan Lutzke, a Knits and Niches design. Susan Lutzke. They it's black and white. I don't know how well you can see it. I will put a link down below. But what I like to do with socks to avoid second sock syndrome is to work. I've got 2 sets going here. What's that? Okay. So I caked up my yarn. One sock is pulling from the middle of the yarn, and then on the top side, so I leave that hanging down below, and then off the top side I'm pulling yarn from the outside to make the second sock. And I'm using all the same yarn for everything: heels, cuffs, toes, ribbing. So for instance, and these are top-down socks. So for instance, on the first sock, I went down to the leg, stopped, started the second sock, went to the leg. Then I did the heel flap and gusset to the point where you started the foot, stopped, went back to this one, did the heel flap and gusset and stopped. Or probably did it the other way around, but anyway. So then on this one, I'm doing the foot, and I'm very close to doing the toe. This yarn, it was from my stash. You may, if you've been watching, you know that I'm really trying hard to use and my stash is dwindling nicely. It's almost time to go shopping. But okay, I still have a red dot over there. Hopefully that means we're recording. Okay, so this is Primrose Yarn Company. I've had this for a long time. I doubt it's available. Primrose Yarn Company Cosmic Helix. And the color There! So I just looked over and there was no red dot. So now we are recording again. So the sock ruler, these were all the rage a while ago when they first came out. I would highly recommend it. It is well worth the hype, in my opinion. So what you do, if it's a top-down sock, you measure your foot. Most patterns I've seen, the toe starts with 2 inches left to go on your total foot length. So you measure your total foot length. My foot happens to be the size of this entire thing, 10 inches. And so I would go, if you're doing top down, to see how much farther you need to knit, you stick the flat end, because this is the toe, you stick the flat end into your sock back to the heel. And I won't do it now because it's a chore with the lace and my needles, but you stick it in like that. I'm almost there, really. And so you would stop at whatever your measurement would be, and then you can start your toe. If you are doing a toe up sock, you would, because this end is the toe, you would use this end, stick this in to the toe of the sock, and then again it would be 2 inch, I think is it 3 inches? I don't know, it depends on the pattern. It's either 2 or 3 inches for the heel. You would stop before the total length of your foot, 2 or 3 inches, whatever it is for the heel, and then you're ready to start your heel. So I really like it. I can't even remember how much it was. I have no idea. I can't even guess. But it was well worth it. So that's my works in progress. Well, the next time the camera goes off, I'll have to run upstairs. I completely forgot to grab another finished object, a sweater. Okay, so that's my work in progress. Here's one that I thought I had shown. I made this, let's see, last year was 2020, summer of 2020, I made this shawl, and I looked through past episodes and it was not on any of my notes. So either I showed this to you already, which if I did, I'm sorry, and didn't provide links or any yarn information, or I never showed it to you. So this is one that was on my wish list for quite a while to make. This is Fringed by Sir Stephen West. Absolutely love it. Super easy to make, DK. These little tiny lighter strips here, and down here is mohair held double, and then the fringe is out of mohair. I used our very own Roberta Rae Fibers yarn for this. There are 2 different grays, and I also ended up using a little scrap yarn in here too. 2 different grays. This is our DK, and then this fabulous burst of color there. I will link it below, and the link to Roberta Rae Fibers. Full disclosure, that's my yarn company with my friend. Yeah, so one end, the fringe is in the bright orange, and yeah. Again, I'm looking at the live view so you can see, but it's fabulous. This yarn is so squishy and soft. Love the pop of color. I don't have anything fringy, and I was in the mood for some fringe. So I would highly recommend this pattern. It was super fast. Couldn't even tell you what needles. I'm guessing a 5mm, if not at least a 4. But there you go. Yeah, maybe I should show you this end. So then you start blending the fringe colors, and then you end up with the fringe down there. So that was a finished object from 2020. And it might have been the previous podcast or the one before. I could not recall if I had shown you my Montrealer or not. And it appears I did not show you my Montrealer. So my knit night group decided to do a knit along amongst ourselves, and we all made the Montrealer by, pretty sure it's Max Sear, or is it, pretty sure it's by Max. Les Garçons, Max and Vincent. This is my Montrealer, and it has a hood. I love it. It is extremely warm. I did modify a few things. I did not do the pocket because my yarn is pretty heavy structure, and I felt that that would be too many layers in the belly area. I just thought it would be too stiff. I just thought it would be too much. So I didn't put in the pocket just because of the yarn I was using, not because of, if I was using a lighter weight yarn that wasn't as structured as this, I probably would have put the pocket in. And I also made it shorter, so because I wasn't using the pocket. I've talked before, I like my sweaters to just cover the belt on my pants. I don't like them to hang down too low. So it's a little shorter. And of course I lengthened the sleeves by a good 2 or 3 inches. And the hood is fabulous. And I did modify this area a little bit, and the ties that I'm using, I did not make an I-cord. This is actually cotton piping for upholstery when you make piping. This is the cord. And I thought it worked perfectly. The yarn is my own Fat Wool, again, my own Fat Wool Co. yarn. This is the worsted weight, and the light pink is the only one that is not mine. This is Stonehenge Fiber Mill, which is the mill here in town who makes my yarn for me. That is her pink. So it's a great sweater. Anybody can wear it. It's a lot of fun to make. The stripes keep you engaged. Very well written pattern, and there were some new techniques where you're like, oh, but everything was so well written, you breezed right through it and you got it. Okay, now I think, a couple more things yarn related, and then we'll move on. Once again this year, even though I still have not used my minis from last year, you have to sign up. I think before I said maybe August or something. If you are interested in buying a yarn advent from pretty much any dyer, you have to be on the lookout as early as April. I think Christina from Chelsea Luxe Yarns, her listing goes up, I think it's in April. So you gotta be ready in springtime to think about Christmas. But so I still want to make a little stripey sweater, but gardening has taken over my life. But the yarn advents are so much fun that I signed up for hers again. She provides you with a little road map with all the names of the yarns. Her theme this year was Chelsea Luxe. This doesn't have the theme. It just says Yarn Advent 2021, 25 days of yarn and goodies. And these, and I left them in the bag. She gives you these little muslin pouches, which I like to make bath salts and maybe with dried flowers and things. And these are the perfect bags to reuse for bath salt recipes. But they're all still in the bags, but you can kind of get an idea of her colors. Just the advents are so much fun. I've also done the advent from Trilogy Yarns. I have seen other advents that look also look wonderful. Dragon Hoard Yarns, Yarn Cafe Creations, they have fabulous colors as well. So there are lots to choose from out there. But these were the colors this year from Chelsea Yarns. Really like this, and look at that one. That one is fabulous. Oops, oops. Let's see. There's the, oh yeah, one of the ones at the beginning. This one was great. So, yeah, I really don't know. Am I going to sign up again this year? Probably, just because it's fun. And then, you know what? I might end up maybe next winter. Maybe by then I will just use, assuming I haven't used the other minis that I have all lined up for a sweater, I might just go ahead and just make a granny straight blanket with all the holiday minis. But anyway, so there are lots of advents out there, but you have to get on it really early if you want one, because they sell out fast. Any of them, they sell out fast. Okay, so that is it for yarn. So if you are not interested in sewing or quilting, oh, hi.
Where are you?
I'm in here making a podcast.
So temporarily this is, sorry.
Okay, so my husband came home for lunch, and then I had to stop recording because he wasn't going to stop telling me what he had to tell me. And then I look over and my computer screen is blank. The program is gone. Nothing's there. Well, the battery was dead on my camera. Okay, no problem. I've got a battery charger plugged in the wall over there and a battery charger. I have 3 camera batteries. So the one in the camera, the other 2 are on the charger plugged into the wall. Did any of the 2 that were on the chargers work? No. So, 3 hours later, hi! I had lunch, I did some organizing, I did put all the yarny stuff away, and all the quilty stuff has moved in around me. Did I say I had lunch? Cleaned out the garbage bin, and it's a pull-out garbage in the garage, in the kitchen. So cleaned out the inside of the door. It was nasty and a mess. I thought by now I would actually, of course, would I have been done editing by now? No, that's not how it works for me. But anyway, here we are. We are back. Let's go. There was one last yarny thing to show you. Geraldine and I have been working on some new colors for Roberta Rae. These aren't named yet. They're not on the website yet, so we need to do that. But I thought I would share. There's my red dot. We're recording. I thought I would share this, and then we will move into sewing. So we've got 3 new Mohair colors. One is a current color, Bisque. I did not bring that up. That one is on the website. So we've got this one as a new color. It's really yellow on the screen. It's much more gold than yellow here. So that's too bad. The color is not correct. But I'm going to call this Spun Gold. We also have this gorgeous purpley mohair. It's more vibrant on the screen. Like the highlights are a lot the highlights are a lot lighter on the screen than in real person, but it's still gorgeous. This one was made for it's not the mohair color that I use. This is a new color, but this was like part of the fringe shawl. So that's a really bright pumpkin orange on the screen. It's a deeper red orange. But we'll get these on the website. This is our new base. This is the one that I made that shawl out of, that I ripped out and then put back in from the Walk collection. This is that base. We found it. I believe, and I don't have it in front of me, I will link all of these below once I get them on the website. It's no. It's got to be this one. Yep. Glasses. 70, 20, 10. 70 baby alpaca, 20 silk, 10 cashmere. I am telling you, this base is like nothing. You like cashmere, MCN? You gotta try this base. Walk collection has it. Roberta Rae Fibers now has it. So this is one of our very first colors. Really nice tonal blue. And in that same base, this is actually no, it's much more gold on the screen. It's not as gold as it's showing up. It might just be my computer screen, but it has goldiness to it, but it's a gorgeous, gorgeous, like burnt caramel color. Like if you're going to make your own caramel sauce and right before it goes dark, dark, it's this beautiful light burnt caramel look. But it is not as gold as it shows up on the screen. And then we also have this gorgeous, we're going to call this claret. And let's see, on the screen it's really rosy. It's much more wine colored. This is definitely a claret red wine color. Again, out of that dreamy, dreamy base. And then we have a gorgeous charcoal out of an Aran weight. Again, it's darker in real life. And the claret also. So, yeah, we, because of the pandemic, haven't had a show. Well, we did have one show last summer, the Tip of the Mitt Fiber Fair. And that was it. Yeah, that was it. So we will be at the Ann Arbor Fiber Festival in April and October. And we will not be doing Tip of the Mitt this year because I'm still on the committee and planning it, but we won't have a booth because that is also graduation that weekend. So I will be doing other things. And then, yeah, we need to find some more shows. So if you attend any fiber festivals that you really like in the state of Michigan, I mean, I would go to Northern Ohio, Indiana, Illinois. That is just a drive. Like from my house to Chicago is 6 hours. Columbus, Ohio is 9 hours. So not too far into the state, but I definitely travel. And then Geraldine's in the greater Detroit area, so Columbus is what, like 4 hours from her, 3 hours. So anywho, Roberta Rae Fibers. We're gonna have a lot more colors coming, but I wanted to show you the start. But yeah, anyway, so what I started to say, we haven't had any shows basically for 2 years. So we haven't done a lot of dyeing. So, our inventory is low, but we're working on it. Okay. And for all of you new viewers, if you subscribe to Nomadic Knits, if you buy this magazine, pattern magazine, they go to a region. I think it's just in the United States so far, but this was issue number 7, which was the state of Michigan. And they, in all of their issues, they find dyers in that state and or pattern designers from that state, and they feature them. And we were so very excited and honored to be a featured dyer in this magazine, and we were part of the Mackinac Mitts pattern. So that lighter gray, the lighter gray one right there is our yarn. But it's a really cool publication. I'd highly recommend it. And let's see. So they do beautiful photographs of the region. In fact, this is Arch Rock from one of my favorite places in the world, Mackinac Island. So that was amazing. This is the Pictured Rocks region up in the Upper Peninsula. So, and one of our treasures in the state of Michigan, the Mackinac Bridge, which connects the Upper Peninsula to the Lower Peninsula. Excellent photograph. So anyway, yeah, somewhere in here they talk about all of the dyers. Oh yeah. So here's a little write-up on us down here. But anyway, so yeah, we've been featured in a magazine. We have also been a Dyer of the Month for Wool and Honey in Cedar, Michigan. They do a Dyer of the Month program. I think you can get some pretty big gifts if you sign up for the whole year. Excuse me. And so 2 or 3 years ago, we were one of their Dyers of the Month. So that was exciting also. So anyway, yeah, so we're Roberta Rae Fibers.com. Okay, that is it, I promise, for yarn. So let's move. I'm surrounded by quilting. Let's get this project going here. So this is a project I started a year ago, and I planned to wear it to the flower shop last May, but didn't get it done. So this is basically just, it's not a pea coat, but I don't know what you call it, but basically just a coat. Rifle Paper Company fabric. I like the nice collar. I did plan on putting these hot pink buttons on, but back in the day, you know, before the current size, and I think I talked about this when I started this project, they've changed sizes for clothing from what it used to be. So for instance, I mean, I was like Skeletor in high school, like skin and bones, and I wore a size 10. Now I have a little bit of muscle and age, and I wear a size 6. So no. I've actually gone, I like that size. I have a gorgeous, gorgeous skirt, camel hair skirt. It's still in my closet. I'll probably never wear it again, but it's still in my closet. And it's a size 10. The thing used to spin around in circles on me, and I can get it up, but I can't zip it up. So, you know, so anyway, but sewing patterns are still using those older sizes and not the ready to wear, whatever it's called, off the rack, everyday clothes. So I have to remember that. So this is a size 10. I probably should have made the size 12 because I can't button it. So the options are, don't put the buttons on, and look, it's even lined. I lined it in hot pink. The sleeves are lined. To wear it like this and never button it, or give it to my mom. She was here for Christmas and I had her try it on. It was a little large in the shoulders for her, but otherwise down here she could totally button it, no problem, and we could hem it up a little bit shorter in the arms and the bottom hem for her. So just have to decide. But anyway, it's very cute. I enjoy it, and the pockets on the outside. Oh, and this is my second place ribbon from the Bay Harbor Arts Festival. Last summer I won second place for booth design at the Bay Harbor Arts Festival. So I keep that there. So far there I've won third place and second place. So there's only one place left for me to win. Anyway, so there's that. There's going to be a lot of quilt talk here, so let's get to it. What my sister-in-law has 4 children, and it might have been my last episode, I made that pink quilt for her new baby, the youngest. Well, the older 2 boys are quite a bit older, and they both have quilts. But the third doesn't have a quilt yet, and then of course now the baby has a quilt, so number 3 needs a quilt. So, but then I'm like, I don't have time. There's too many things to do. But I have this quilt that has been in a box for, how old is my son? So it's been probably at least 20 years I've had this. So I'm thinking, and there's very little work left to do. It's an applique. I couldn't even tell you, the book isn't here, the pattern isn't here. Maybe I've thrown the pattern away. I want to say it was a paper pattern, but it's not in the box with the fabric, so I have no idea what the pattern. It's at least 20 years old. But I think I'm going to finish this for number 3. So, we still have a red dot. That's excellent news. So I've got 2 panels made already, and these are applique. Oops. Just cute little turtles on that side, on top of just strips of, that's probably a jelly roll. You could totally do it with a jelly roll. And then this side, so I've got 2 panels. So I decided, while I was waiting for my battery to charge, I'm going to get some more strips of the blue, buy some more jelly, well, maybe not jelly rolls, but anyway, I'm going to add more blue stripes. I'm going to hook these things together with a few more blue stripes to make the quilts a little bit bigger. And that's it. And number 3 will finally have a quilt, and I will get something out of off the shelf. Yeah. So that'll be cute. Cute, cute, cute. So that really won't take very long at all to do. So, see? Look, an empty container. But that's okay. It'll get filled up quickly because I've shown you this book before. This book I took to Edinburgh Yarn Festival when Geraldine and I went, and I had it by category, like which dyers I wanted to see, my wish list, patterns I wanted to make that I wanted to get yarn for while we were there. And so then I decided to go halfway through the book, and now it's also my quilt wish list planner. This is a moleskin book. I really, really like it. A nice linen herringbone cover. I love the feel of the paper. So it's a really nice book. I'd really like to use it. And there's a lot of book here. I don't think the rest of my life I would use all these pages if it was just for knitting and yarn. But I'll fill this up with quilts, that's for sure. So as you can see, I've got quite the wish list here of quilt projects. So one of them is number 3's quilt that I just showed you. And as I might have talked about this in my last episode, it's usually about 10 days before a holiday or 3 weeks before a holiday. Hey, I would love a Valentine's quilt, or, oh, I should make last summer, I should make a 4th of July quilt. And, you know, with 3 weeks to go before 4th of July. So I'm planning ahead. I have this really cute pattern. And I should get started on this. So, Stars and Stripes Forever by Fig Tree and Co. And it's just really cute. It's scrappy, it's cute. I probably won't have to buy that much fabric. I'll have to buy some, but really not that much. I probably have quite a few scraps that I can make this with. So that's on my wish list. Stars and Stripes Forever. Super duper cute. Oops. Okay, get that out of the way a little bit. All right. I've talked about this book. I had full intentions of participating with their pillow along. They made one pillow a week for, was it 4 weeks, 6 weeks? Did I get a single pillow made? No. But they're on my list, and there are a number of things in here I would like to make. I would love to make, let me see if I can find the purple one. I would love to make this house quilt. Isn't that darling? And this one I'm thinking I could use it brings me immense joy just to stare at this pile of fabric. I think I showed this before when I got it. This is from the Fat Quarter Shop. It's a collection of Anna Maria Horner's fabric. I look at it. I keep it right up here on the edge of my shelves, and I look at it every time I come in. I love it. But it'd be super cute in that house quilt, I think. Let's see. So that's one thing I would love. And of course there's a house pillow, so for sure. Pretty much just about, there were a couple quilts here I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I have other things on my list. This one I thought would be really pretty in a lilac. I'm really intrigued to do, you know, because so often quilts are made with a white background or something, and I made that pink quilt, which was probably one of the first times I had used the main color as the background. But I would love to do something like that in a lavender orchid, like an orchid purple. Would be super pretty. This looks like a great quilt. I don't have any fabric picked out for it, but that's a great quilt. So if you are looking for a book that, oh, and this thimble quilt. I'm sorry, not thimble, it's spools, thread spools. Love to make this one. Could totally do that scrappy out of Anna Maria Horner and Kay Fassett. Would be amazing. So anyway, I would highly recommend this book. It's got quilts and pillows, lots of great projects. Oh, where's my focus? Here it is. So, if you're interested, A Scrapbook of Quilts by Joanna Figueroa and Carrie Nelson. So that's on my list. Something else. Oh, I've got some. Storm, what are you doing? She's over here walking through all my stuff. I love Halloween quilts. Love, love, love Halloween quilts. This pattern is amazing. And I got some new Halloween fabric. It's called Halloween Roses by Fig Tree & Co. This is Hocus Pocus by the Pattern Basket. I think this quilt's a little smaller, but I would probably add some more pumpkins to make it bigger. But those are cute, and this one is absolutely darling, Witch's Night Out. So those are not on my list, but when I was reaching for something else, I saw those. I have some other patterns. So I mentioned this before and I've shown it. Sherry McConnell from A Quilting Life does a free block of the month. So this is, what are you doing? No. No, hey, Storm, no. She's trying to scrunch up nephew number 3's quilt so she could lay on it. No, don't do that. Anyway, so I've already shown some of the other months. This is totally free, so I can show you. Oh, here it is in the back. So those are all the quilt blocks. I'm thinking of making a number of them, maybe 3 and 3, and making it a row quilt so it gets a little bigger. But that's free on her website, aquiltinglife.com, and she has already started the block of the month for 2022. The one for, I'm probably not going to print that one. For 2022, it has a shoe fly border around the block, and I don't really, it's not my bag, so, but that's all right. I've got plenty of things to do. And did I show you this one before? This one was also free. Threadology Quilt Along by A Fat Quarter Shop. This was their Make-A-Wish Quilt Along in 2019. So this is an older pattern, but I just really liked it and I thought it was pretty cute. So it's a giant spool of thread made up of all those little blocks. And that is not on my list either, but I've got it. Let's see. Oh, Kay Fassett. And you pronounce Kay Fassett as Kaif. He once explained it as, you're always safe with Kaif. It's not cafe, cafe. Anyway, oh my gosh, these colors. I need to work with this time of year. That's what I need to do. Okay, let's look. Now, you may remember the knitted star quilt from Lo and Behold Stitchery that I made last year. And I'm so glad I did that with the quilt along, because holy cow, it was a lot of cutting, it was a lot of sewing, and I really worked at it to get it done and to stick with the quilt along. Which if I didn't have that quilt along pushing behind me, I would have been, you know, I'm not interested in all that sewing today or all that cutting today or something. So if motivation is something that keeps you from maybe getting projects done or as many projects done as you would like, check out a quilt along or a make along of whatever crap. Okay, I have no idea how much you missed because I just noticed that I haven't been recording. Can't have been too much. Anyway, so this is an art gallery. So these two I think would be great. And what I was starting to say is that if you have a go-to fabric that you use a lot, that you use all the time for backgrounds or whatever you use the fabric for. For instance, my favorite white, shade of white, is Kona Solids Snow is my favorite white. And so if you order from Fat Quarter Shop, a whole bolt has 15 yards on it. They will give you a discount if you order 15 yards, and they just send you the whole bolt. Which, if it's kind of a no-brainer if it's a color that you know you're going to use all the time. So I was thinking that I would use the snow on this background. And then I also really liked, in my knitted star, I used, okay, nope, I've got that backwards. What I told you is true. Snow is my favorite, but that's not the white I wanted to use for this. In the knitted star, the white that I used was the bleached white, is the name of it. Again, Kona Solids, bleached white. I liked it so much, I went ahead and got that. And you can, well, can you see? Yes. So this is this is the snow. No, it is not. This is snow, and this is the bleach white. So you can, well, can you see that? You can kind of see it. This one's a little bit darker, a little more parchment-y color, and this one is more white. It's not bright white, it's not pure white. It's just called bleached white. So bleached white is the one I thought I would use for the background on this. Then I wanted to use the snow for a Christmas quilt that needs to be started. I need to start this more than 3 months or 3 weeks before Christmas. So there's the house quilt in that book, and this one is, it doesn't have to be a Christmas quilt, but it's Christmassy to me. Again, Chelsea Stratton Designs, Little Town. And I showed you this when I got it, the Rifle Paper Company Christmas fabric. Just darling. And a lot of gold. Like, look. Gold on there. And then see on the house quilt where it has the doors in the houses? Wouldn't it be the cutest thing ever? Or you could even do it in some of the windows. I'm not a fussy cutter. I usually don't have the patience. I always think it's gorgeous, like the kaleidoscope quilts are gorgeous, but I need to move right along. But how cute would it be if I fussy cut these little dancers and soldiers and ballerinas and whatever else is on here? If I fussy cut those out and put them in the doorway, like they're standing in the door waving or something, like the door's open. I thought that would be totally cute. So that is another plan. And there's green on here for the trees. Like, you know, that green would be totally cute. You could even use this one. The tree would look like it's full of ornaments. This one even has tree boughs on it. So cute. But yeah, I need to get that started sooner than later. So spring break is the end of March. And usually this time of year I'm just sitting here like trying to keep myself busy and wishing we could go on spring break. Of course, I want to go to someplace warm and nice and be on spring break on a little vacation. But I want to go on spring break so that I can come home, because then it's time to start seeds. So I need to get this moving right along. Oh, and all of that is that the Christmas quilt is what I wanted to use the snow with, that more parchment-y color, because of the parchment color in the whites. So that's on the list. I know, you're all laughing. Let's see. I've been making progress on my Jen Kingwell quilt. All the months are cut out. So, for instance, each month came like this with the pattern. It came with these darn templates. And of course the instructions. So I went through when I was camping or maybe watching a movie or something. I just said, let's just get this done. Let's do this. And so I just cut them out, put them all back in the package that they belonged in for the month. And I've just been grabbing an envelope and plugging away. So I think I've got 4 months done already. And then I'm putting them back in the package and back in my storage container so that I can put them all together. These are the blocks I'm working on now. I've got to make 9 of these. But her fabrics are so cute. This is what draws me to Jen Kingwell. Absolutely love the fabrics. There's another one. And then this one. So I have to make 5 more of those. And yeah, I come down, work on it for a while, maybe do one and then go off and do something else. And I just have to remind myself it was a block of the month, so you had an entire 30 days to get them done. It wasn't supposed to all be done in one go around unless you absolutely wanted to. But that's on my list, and I'm making good progress on that. The pillows, got that 4th of July. That one. And I'm getting very, 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 very close to starting my writing my quilt design. So I have shown this before and talked about it and talked about the whole design process. I'm just about ready. And I'm still using this fabric. It's Sharon Holland line. And that'll be nice because I probably won't... My goal is to have this like in a PDF form available by August. So these will be great fall colors to work with. And I'm thinking, so these, the black I'm going to use as the corner squares, so then the star floral triangle thing will be the rest of the colors. And then I think I've had this toile print forever. There's got to be at least 3 yards here. I've had it forever. I did want to use it as a backing for a quilt because it's just gorgeous and I didn't want to lose the whole toile effect. But I might, unless I see something else, use this as the background for this quilt, which I think would be gorgeous. So here are all the oranges. I think that would be pretty. So, progress, at least in my brain, is happening on that. And I already have a volunteer for a pattern tester. So it's coming. We're gonna do it. Holy cow. All right, so yeah, that's it. That's all that's on my list. I also picked up, which is really, it's adorable, but it's not usually, usually not the soft romantic type. But this is Tilda, Windy Days by Tilda Designs or Tilda Fabric. It's darling. The colors are darling. There's little figures with they're in a raincoat and rubber boots and the hat's blowing off in the wind. There's flowers. Just darling. So, but I have no idea what I'll make. And I have some of this, not very much though, but I had this black dot. Black. This is not black. Gray. It's a very beautiful mid oyster gray with a little white polka dot, pin dot. Pillows. I could do some pillows, but it doesn't go with my decor, so I don't know. But it's darling. I got 2 of those. And then I played bingo with Fiberhustle and all of the rest of the lovely people that were there. And this is from, Halloween! Halloween bingo! I was Frau Blücher from Young Frankenstein. And hopefully I can edit this and put in a picture for you. But I won. So I chose a quilty or fabric, I can't remember what they call it. A fabric gift, or not gift, prize. And this was a stack of fabrics that I won from playing bingo. And then Geraldine was here over New Year's and we played New Year's bingo. We didn't win, but this is the second time I've won, so I'm doing really, really well at bingo. Oh my goodness sakes. Gosh, I think, I do have a finished quilt top. All right, Chip, if you're watching, hold on to your chair. I'm gonna move the camera. Hold on, here we go. Yay, it's finished. Hopefully I'm not yelling because the microphone's right here. So there is the Shine On sampler block by Bonnie and Camille. The colors are lovely. Again, they are not colors that I use in my house, but I don't necessarily think that's the point with a quilt. You can have a stack of quilts and they don't have to match, they don't have to coordinate with anything. Just enjoy your quilts. So I'm sure I'll have this in the house this spring. And the aqua matches Blue Betty. So I will definitely be taking this. Maybe I'll put it on my bed on Blue Betty. So that just needs to be quilted. And the idea with this one is that I will just do a meandering. It'll be quick, and I'll just do a meanders stitch all over the quilt. So there we go. All right. Wow. I think that's about it. So, I'll just do a couple more things here. Can you see me, kind of? So there were a couple of things. I'll just finish on this. I'll just finish on these last little bits. So I have been watching Christopher Allen, his podcast. He is a YouTuber who absolutely loves to decorate, and he loves, nice cookware. He loves nice tennis shoes. He just and his house is exceptionally clean, which wouldn't that be nice? And just probably one of the most positive people I've come across in a very long time. And so I would highly recommend, he just kind of wanders around. He takes you on errands. He takes you here. He just shares his day. And his mission is to spread kindness into the world. And so with everything going on in the world, and everybody's depressed and or upset or angry about this or angry about that, and it's weighing on everybody. It really is. And I've seen that in myself. I've seen it in my whole family. So for Christmas, I got this book, and I would recommend it to any of you. And I got one for each one of my family. And this was recommended by Christopher, and it's called The Feel Good Effect. And we seem to be still really fuzzy, but we still have a red dot. So the author talks a lot about, it's by Robin Conley Downs. So she just talks a lot about how, traditionally and especially American culture, happiness is tied into success. And if you're a woman and you have children and you have a marriage and you have a career, well, you're supposed to do everything uber successfully, and that's what's going to make you happy. Well, she talked about how that's not what made her happy, and that's not what makes a lot of people happy. And she just gets you to rethink what happiness is for you. And I don't know. So consider it if you would like. Of course, I did notice that our middle daughter, she has hers on her desk. The other three, I'm sure I had to pull my husband's out of the gift bag from Christmas that's on his floor. So, and then also I gave each person in my family, so Christopher also had recommended a year or so ago, because I've been binge watching and going through old episodes, these goal setting planners by Ink and Volt. I got one in this really pretty satiny gold color. And so I got one for myself, and then for each one of our kids. So for our oldest, who's now out of college and off on his first job, I got the work planner, and then for the girls and myself, I got the goal setting planner. And I really like it. So it does have a calendar, so you could put appointments and schedules and whatever else on there. But at the very beginning of the book, there are questions like bringing your year into focus. And I'm generally not a word chooser. I've never chosen a word of the year or a theme or something like that. But Christopher was talking about his word of the year for this year, and he might have had a few, I'm not sure. But all of a sudden it just popped into my head, expansion. So expansion is my word of the year for 2022, and then you follow the following prompts relate to your word of the year and how are you going to use it, how are you going to, this kind of thing. There's a page for a timeline, there's a monthly sheet, there's a weekly sheet. There are monthly goals and challenges, and then week by week goals in order to accomplish your, which, I don't know, I feel kind of stuck, and I think everyone is just kind of the brain fog thing, so I thought I would give this a try and this book a try just to do my part to brighten up the world. And then the Ink and Volt, I found these cool little, they're all like match, they look like large match sticks, box of matchsticks, and it's called Spark Happiness. So, and they have different ones, like I can't remember what of the other, Spark Happiness, Spark Creativity might have been one. I think I got that one for my son, our oldest, and who moved, the one I've been talking about in Texas now, because he's suddenly at work and he might need a boost of creativity. But anyway, this one was my husband's, Spark Happiness. Of course, has he opened it yet? No. But they're giant matchsticks. And so his, I think one of the girls I gave, it might have been like Spark Confidence or something. So you put, the idea is that you just grab one, ask people other than you about their secrets to happiness. Oh, and ask people older than you. Oh my God, I need to clean my reading glasses. Ask people older than you about their secrets to happiness. So, I don't know. So I just thought I'd put these things out there. If any little thing that any of us can do for ourselves and for each other to brighten our days or brighten the mood or just help get everybody through this mess, I think is a good thing. So I still have a red dot. I think I should quit while I'm ahead. And because now I have to figure out how to edit everything. So hopefully it won't take the rest of the week to get this out to you. But so yeah, I've been busy, and I think another video I might do for those of you who are interested in gardening. I'll go through some seeds, my seed haul, and some plans for the garden this year. So that's about it. Thank you so much. If you've made it this far, thank you so much. I appreciate the time that you spend with me. Feel free to join in the comment section and ask me any questions or comments you might have. And have a great day. Bye.